Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-July 2023 love reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, why I call it a bridge and a gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past, present, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight, and that's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel that's the way around your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so I'll fall that out of the way. We'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Four of Arrows. So this is a Libra energy here. It could just be saying that you actually might have gone through a healing cycle with this person in the past, so there definitely could have been some heartbreak, right? As we see the three arrows there, makes you think of the Three of Swords energy. Then we see that one arrow, which makes you think of the Ace of Swords energy pointed toward the cards on that side. So it could just be one of those things where you guys might have gone through a separation, but might have reunited in the past. Alright, past energy on your side, we have the Two of Wands. So this could just be saying that they might have actually gotten some encouragement from their friends to come forward. So it actually might have been them who initiated this reconciliation between the two of you. Or either way, like let's say if you were the ones who came forward initially, maybe if they were a little hesitant, if they wanted to pursue that or not, they might have been encouraged by friends, like, yeah, you should totally give it a shot, see what happens. But that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Alright, present energy on your side, we have the Ten of Staves. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. I could just say you have a lot on your plate right now, right? So, okay, maybe you felt good about healing the connection with this person, but there could just be so many other things going on in your life that you're like, okay, realistically, how much energy do I have to actually give to the connection, right? So that could be one of those things that you're trying to figure out at this time, and maybe you're communicating that to this person as well. Right. Present energy on their side, we have the King of Cups. So this is a Scorpio energy here, and it could just be saying for the most part this person might be in a very observant mode, right? Maybe they're not outright expressing to you how they feel about the situation. So if you do tell them like, hey, you know, I have a lot going on right now, I'm not sure how much energy I give to the connection. If you're hoping for like a steady dialogue with this person, I feel like this is saying that you might not get much there, right? They might kind of keep their cards close to the chest, like, oh, okay, not really letting you know one way or the other how they feel. All right, future energy on your side, we have transformation. So this is the equivalent of the Death card in traditional tarot, which is a Scorpio energy as well. So it could just be saying that you might come to the realization that at least at this time you just don't have the energy to give to this connection, right? Maybe given that Scorpio energy for you guys is your 10th house of career and social status, it could just be one of those things where I go, okay, I have too many things going on career-wise right now, right? So all right, just to give it a super generic example, let's say that you work full-time and then during the fall you're going back to school to try to get a degree as well or something along those lines. So it's like, okay, you're going to have school full-time, working full-time, friendships, family, right? Just day-to-day stuff. So you might not have much energy to give to the connection, right? Now, for some of you, this could also say that maybe, given as his transformation, maybe you're establishing those boundaries with the connection, right? Like maybe you're just saying, look, realistically, there's going to be certain times in the year where I'm just not going to be able to give much energy to the connection at all, right? And seeing if the person is open to that idea or not. Otherwise, you might decide that you do have to leave behind. But given that we do see Pluto and Persephone's names on the card, could just be that the dynamic, that's how the dynamic is in general. Maybe because of something going on in your life, you're not really able to be present in the more traditional connection, right? Maybe there's certain times of the year where you have the time, certain times where you don't. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Lovers. So this is the Major Arcana card for Gemini, and looks like quite the contrast, right? And future energies there. So for some of you, this could play out in a more positive sense where, like, let's say, like I said, if you mention to them, hey, these are my boundaries, I'm not going to be available in a more traditional sense in this relationship because I have so many other things going on. For some of you, that could be them saying, hey, we're totally cool with that, right? Or for others of you, it could be the other way around, where if you see them that this is what they truly desire and they're trying to move in that direction, that might be what causes you to leave it behind. Like, look, I just don't have the time and energy to be in the connection in that way at this time, right? So it could go either way there. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have Innocence. So this is the equivalent of the Fool card in traditional tarot. And it could just be saying that this might have been the perspective that you took going into the connection, right? You might have jumped in, taken that leap of faith, and only as things moved along, you came to that realization, right? Like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I did think this was something I could take on, but now as things start to progress, I realize, oh, I actually don't have the time and the energy to put toward the connection. So I don't feel like you were being manipulative in any way, but it could have just been one of those things where maybe deep down you were hoping that you could show up in the connection in that way, but then just the reality of things around you is like, okay, I can't really put the level of commitment toward this that I would need to. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, they have the Four of Swords. So interesting, you guys had that same energy in the past on your side, but it could just be saying that maybe they're trying to get creative, right? They might try to suggest, oh, okay, well, yeah, if you're busy, hey, why don't we just meet up with mutual friends once a week or something like that, right? Or trying to find a way to work around it that would work for both of you, right? So I feel like they will try to be accommodating. I don't know if it'll work out realistically necessarily, but at least looks like they will at least make an effort there to see, like, hey, is there a way where we could still keep things going while you're also able to take care of the other things you have to take care of? All right, so next we'll move on to the Oracle cards, and first we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love Oracle cards deck. And I'm just going to be looking for a single card here just to see what message we get there. Got one there. And next we'll see what we get from the Wisdom Oracle deck. And same situation as far as we're just going to pull a single card here, then we'll read both messages from the cards to wrap the reading up. Almost have one there already. All right, and looks like we got two actually. So, all right, let's read the Messages of card first. Okay, you guys got Acceptance. It says everything happens for a reason. So yeah, I mean, not the deepest, mind-blowing message there, but could just be pointing to that, like I said, for some of you might have gone into this with that hopeful optimism that, yeah, maybe I can be in this relationship and do all the other things I have going on in my life, right? With the Dennis Dave's energy. And then as time goes on, you might realize, okay, yeah, maybe I took on a little bit too much there. I might have to scale it back some. So that could be how that plays out for some of you. But to make up for that, I guess we got the two Wisdom Oracle cards at least. So let's see. All right, first one we have is Thinker. There's the artwork. The number is 44. And we have Observer. There's the artwork. The number is 49. It's kind of funny because I have a feeling that these messages are going to be pretty similar, but oh well, we'll see. All right, the relationship message says, love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. So interesting message there. I could see how it resonates, but I feel like this one in particular anyway might resonate more for the person on the right side, right? If you're telling them, hey, I just don't realistically have the time to put toward this connection, but they have this romanticized vision of what the relationship could be, then that might be more of a message for them in that regard. Or maybe for those of you who resonate with the energy on the right for you in that regard. But yeah, let's see what the Observer message says, all right, the relationship message says, sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. See, interesting message there because it doesn't necessarily look like there's any conflict that happens or any misunderstandings. But I mean, I will say we're just about to start a Venus retrograde, and that's going to be in your opposite sign of relationships. So yeah, maybe as you guys do discuss what you can and what you can't give to the connection, right? Maybe there could be some misunderstandings there. So I guess in that regard, it might resonate. But hopefully, in general, this message resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.